So the NGO is Arman, and one of our projects is Mitra. Thank you, jury, for selecting a project as one of the finalists. And let me start with a story, a personal story of mine. Aruna, 24-year-old, went to Thana Civil Hospital in Mumbai city in the third month of pregnancy for regular antenatal care. Because of the huge crush of patients waiting outside, the nurse could just cursorily examine her and send her back. Aruna never went back. In the fifth month of pregnancy, she developed gestational diabetes. Her baby survived in her womb but developed shoulder dystocia. That means when Aruna came in labor to Thana Civil Hospital, her head delivered, the baby's head delivered, but body remained stuck inside. Why? Because in gestational diabetes, body really becomes huge. The nurse did not know what was happening, and it took half an hour to get the doctor, another half an hour to get the ambulance. And by time on Friday evening, rush of traffic of Mumbai city, they came to my tertiary center, which was the first on the highway. It was 2 hours later. And I was the first poster there in the receiving room. And I can still remember the sight when I recount the story to you. You know, when I opened her petticoat, the black, beautiful, bony head of the baby sticking outside her vulva, and the vulva was going gangrenous. And we had to save her life. And my seniors all came down. We tried to take the baby out from below, not possible. So we had to take her for a surgery, did a C-section, tried to take the baby out from above, not possible. The baby was completely jammed there. So I was the only unscrubbed junior, so the deed fell on me. I actually had to behead the baby on table. And because you cannot give a beheaded baby to the parents, I actually had to stitch the baby's head on the body with a needle and twine. This within my 3 months of residency. And Aruna arrived 3 months later. Now this story really stayed with me for long because, and it always stays with me because she came to us. We talk about taking a patient to the hospital. She came to us. We lost her. We failed her. Why? Because we didn't counsel her. We didn't tell her anything about the remaining visits, danger signs, what complications to look out for, why to come back. So we failed her. And that's when the idea of Mitra came to me, you know. And I mean, Arman has all started, the projects of Arman, all based on our experiences during residency. Now, we all know these indicators. I'm not going to go through the maternal child health indicators of India. We fare very, very poorly. One of the major contributing factors to that is lack of access to preventive care information. Now you see those photographs there, those are from an Anganwadi in Maharashtra during the malnutrition week. This is fortified food provided from Maharashtra government for free. But women go home and uses cow feed because they don't know what it is for. And their children were, you know, malnourished and in the Anganwadi getting nutrition. You know? So lack of access to information is is largely responsible for this. However, information alone is not enough. The information needs to be timed to the age of pregnancy or age of the child. She's most likely going to listen to you if you tell her what she needs to hear at the time she needs it. Also, it needs to be targeted directly to the women. You know, when you go to intermediaries like ASHA workers or any other health workers, they approach women when they have time and not when the women need to hear the information from you. It has to be culturally specific and gender sensitive. It has to be in the local dialect and reinforced by repetition. You know, we learn by listening to somebody, watching PowerPoints, watching videos. You know, our women deserve that. So Mobile Mitra Voice and Animation is a free mobile phone voice and animation service which sends timed and targeted information directly to the phones of the women through pregnancy and infancy. Now, why voice calls and not why SMS? Because we did a study initially in my alma mater where we actually we studied how many women in Dharavi, you know, it's a big slum of Mumbai, actually read SMS. And we found that even in Dharavi, the emancipated women of Dharavi, more than 60% women never read SMSs. So we realized SMS don't work. Secondly, SMS do not have the, you know, the cultural context, the emotional context that voice calls can have. That's why we, you know, settled on voice calls. Now, where are we implementing it? I'm very, very happy to tell you that the same place I had this patient and many such patients, now if you were to go to Sion Hospital, our health worker is sitting there, and every woman who comes to Sion Hospital gets Mobile Mitra as a part of her antenatal care. She does not even know it's an NGO providing it. It's a part of her routine. Goes to the nurse, goes to a health worker, gets enrolled, and then goes on to see the doctor. And now already 2,000 women have been enrolled in Mobile Mitra in Sion Hospital. So how does it happen there? So when the pregnant woman goes to Sion Hospital, she's registered. The health worker asks questions like gestational age, because we send timed and targeted information, choice of 1 hour time slot to receive the messages, because a lot of them enroll through their husband's phone. So we want to know that they know the 1 hour time slot, they'll keep the phone with them. Language preference, now it's in Hindi and Marathi, but we're going to spread to all Indian languages, and the phone number. And the women start getting regular voice calls. In rural India, I'm going to come to that, we also added animations, because animation helped to reinforce the information and get the family into the discussion, because we have a health worker going home to home with the animations. Now, so the frequency of messages is based upon all the content we have to give and also how frequently we have to give, because you have to reinforce information. It's not just enough to say once. For example, iron supplementation, you really need to introduce the idea, follow them up, ask them repeatedly how they're taking iron supplementation, and then, and complications, talk about what can happen. So our messages are reinforced repeatedly, and that's why the frequency is twice a week in pregnancy, once a day in the first week after birth, twice a week till the child is 3 months of age, and then once a week till the child is 1 year of age. And we actually tried the women almost 9 times, because we realized that only one phone call will not work. So if a woman has given 8 to 9 a.m. time slot, then Monday 8 to 9 a.m. we'll try her 3 times, a 20-minute interval. Doesn't pick up a call, then Tuesday we try her 3 times. Doesn't pick up the call, then again Wednesday we try her 3 times. And she still has the chance of giving a missed call to her system till Wednesday night to get the message of the week. So we really pursue her, because we want her to get the message of the week. It's very important for us. Lastly, we also have a call center. And why is that? Because when she delivers, we want her to tell us immediately that she's delivered, because we can switch to infancy messages. When she's got an abortion or stillbirth, we don't want her to talk to an automated service. We want her to talk to a live person who will counsel her. Also, if she's changed her time slot, doesn't want this the time slot she's chosen, or she changed her phone number, she gives a missed call to a call center person, and the call center person calls her back and takes the details. We've done a study initially also for the fact that to prove the fact that IVR does not work amongst our women, because they really can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we cannot have press 2 if you've aborted, right? So we have a call center. And all our work is evidence-based. We are doing a huge pre-post intervention trial and a randomized control trial to test knowledge, recall, and behavioral change. Because what are we trying to do? We are trying to make them remember what we tell them and also act on it to change their behaviors. So our randomized control trial actually tests a rise in hemoglobin after iron supplementation reminders. So we do baseline and and end study hemoglobin levels. And that study is right now going on in Sion Hospital. And we have a huge RCT, randomized cluster trial, going on in rural Maharashtra. It's a 3-arm randomized cluster trial, and we have 1,763 women already enrolled. And our partner organization sitting here, iPartner India, and Swayam Shikshan Prayog is partnering us. And we have 3 groups. Now here, what we've done in rural India is, in addition to Mobile Mitra voice and animation, we have a group C, which is actually Mobile Mitra voice and animation and access to home-based care. I won't go into that because it's not a part of the discussion here. It's going on in 250 villages of Osmanabad, Solapur, and Washim. And now we're going to go on to Sion Hospital intervention. It's actually going to spread across to 1 million urban poor women now through our funding from Mama Alliance. So all the slums of Mumbai and all the hospitals of Mumbai, we're going to be enrolling women now, starting next week, actually. And this hopefully will spread through all cities and of India. And in the areas where you don't have connectivity, we are actually, the animations are really working in rural Maharashtra. So we are actually, so in Melghat, we have an intervention. We are doing mother and child health tracking. There, the animation are loaded onto the phones given to the ANMs. And we are actually creating time-targeted animations on malnutrition. And even the voice calls are coded onto the mobile phones with the ANMs, so that they can actually, help the women get access to the information. Same in Raigad. This is an area, again, telecommunication not very good. So there also, there are these already existing health workers. Their mobile phones have the voice calls and the animations. And we've actually created the voice calls through a very strong iterative process. Our baseline messages were created by an eminent group of doctors, one being a medical NGO. And then it was vetted by FOXI, IAP, and NNF, the medical bodies of the country. Maharashtra doctors actually vetted them, because the voice call should actually speak to what the women will hear when they go to the hospitals, right? So we went through the vetting process. Then we actually did preliminary quantitative and qualitative study in rural Maharashtra and in Mumbai to understand what the women require, what are the mores, so that this voice calls speak to them. Lastly, we also did focus group testing. And this is the effort we are going to do through the country. I mean, Maharashtra is already, we've done this in Maharashtra, and we're going to be doing in other states. In the future, we want to send customized voice calls for specific conditions. Like if a woman has PIH, in addition to general messages, she can get pregnancy-induced hypertension messages. We're already doing it for HIV now with Sathi in Mumbai. And we're hoping that the platform we have created is in-house, so it's cheap. So we're hoping that it becomes a platform for other services. People can send voice calls on them. Thank you.
Thank you so much.